All right, B-Mac, it's time for our short division now. We go to our insiders to get the lowdown on the rest of the division.
I'm Noah STRACKBEIN, site expert of Still Curtain of the Fansided Network. And the biggest question heading into Steelers training camp is, where is the relationship between Big Ben and Martavis Bryant? Ben said earlier in the offseason that Bryant needed to earn back the Steelers' trust, and Bryant responded saying that they needed to have a man-to-man. These two need to be on the same page heading into the regular season. Otherwise, an arguably best offense in the NFL won't be at top tier, and they'll have some room to fix during the regular season.
I'm Harrison Sanford of Spectrum Sports Ohio, and the biggest question going into Bengals training camp is, can they protect Andy Dalton? They've lost Andrew Whitworth and Kevin Zettler at the tackle and guard positions respectively, and they're replacing them with Jake Fisher and Cedric Ogbuehi. The first and second round picks from the 2015 NFL Draft have not played well. And to think about it, with Whitworth and Zettler, who are rated as some of the top offensive linemen according to Pro Football Focus in the entire NFL, they still allowed Andy Dalton to get sacked 41 times. So you could imagine that with Cedric Ogbuehi and Jake Fisher now taking those leading roles, it'll be all on them to keep Andy Dalton protected. And if Andy Dalton does get protected, is he a good enough quarterback to actually win a playoff game? That's a question we ask during the regular season and not going into training camp.
Hi, everybody. I'm Andy Baskin from Cleveland at WEWS Television, News 5 here. I'm the sports director, and I also work at 92.3 The Fan with my midday show with Jeff Phelps over on 92.3 The Fan in Cleveland. The biggest question going into training camp for the Cleveland Browns, without a doubt, will be at the quarterback position. And the question that everyone will be asking is, who will be the starting quarterback for the Browns coming up this year? Now, will Cody Kessler get the job? That's the big question mark right now. He got most of the reps in OTA as far as consistent reps, I should say. So, he was getting first-team reps, but he was also switching off with Brock Osweiler, and he was also switching off with Deshaun Kaiser as well. So those guys were kind of splitting half the reps, but Cody Kessler was getting most of the reps. So Browns fans are wondering who will be the starting quarterback, but it feels like, just hearing all the outside noise running into camp, that Deshaun Kaiser is going to get a chance to be the starting quarterback for the Browns if he can jump the hurdle through training camp.
For more things on the AFC North from the Vegas side of things, we welcome in Paulie Howard. He is the co-host of Follow the Money on VSiN. Paulie, let's get right to it with the Steelers. Obviously, they appear to be the clear-cut favorite in the AFC North. Would that change if Le'Veon Bell, let's say, holds out?
If it appears he's going to miss time, yeah. You don't have a D'Angelo Williams to back him up like last year, but this is one of the three running backs that affects the point spread. You're talking 1,200 yards and 75 catches in 12 games. He's a monster. But I don't think they have so many weapons, and I know he's valuable, but I still think they'd be able to win the division even if something crazy happens and he decides not to show up, because I don't have a lot of confidence in the rest of that division.
Yeah, it seems like you're right. Even if Le'Veon Bell misses any amount of time, we don't know that he will. You're right. They're absolutely loaded in comparison to the rest of the division. Let's talk about the Ravens and Bengals. They did not make the postseason last year, but these are two teams we expect to challenge for a playoff berth. Out of those two teams, which one is the better bet to get back to the postseason?
Oh, Ravens, no doubt. Let's go back to last year. It's the Week 16 game in Pittsburgh. If they tackle Antonio Brown at the 1-yard line, their clock runs out, and they're probably going to win the division. It's a nasty defense. I'm still concerned about the offense, though, and the lack of weapons for Flacco. So definitely, yes, I'm with you. The Ravens can challenge and definitely be a playoff team. But I can't get there with the Bengals. I think Dalton and Lewis is a bad duo. You're talking Dalton 0-4 in the playoffs. Lewis, not only is Lewis 0-7 career in the playoffs, they never scored more than 17 points in any of the games.
Wow.
It's a definition of being out coached. So they made a couple good moves in the draft, but I'm not a big Dalton fan, and I think Lewis will be out after this year, and I still see maybe 7-9 for the Bengals, and we don't have to talk about the Browns.
Okay, well, I got to ask you one question about the Browns. Just from a betting perspective, the over and under, we're seeing it's about 4 and a hook right now for the Browns. How could you tell the people to take the over? Is there any scenario that you see where they can get 5 wins?
Okay, now that makes sense. I thought you were going to talk about the Browns as a possible playoff team.
No.
You are getting professional money on the over, up from 4 to 4.5. So I don't agree with it. Just letting you know out in Vegas, though, that the wise guys are betting the Browns over. Osweiler's terrible. I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. But it's still, I can't get to the window when they're going to have to win 5 or 6 games. The cash thing. I don't see how they win 5 or 6 games, though. I don't agree with the money.
And Paul, if you somehow take the Browns to win the division, you're just throwing away money, right?
Oh, absolutely. 40 to 1. I don't even think that's enough value at 40 to 1. What's happened before? You saw the Dolphins go 1-15 and then win the division the next year at 11-5. But there's just no way the Browns are going to win the division. I can't see it.
I'm with you, Paulie. Paulie Howard out there in Sin City. We appreciate the time and the information as always, my friend. Again, for more expert gambling analysis around the NFL and more, go to VSiN.com, where some of the sharpest minds in Vegas discuss all the lines for news you need to win.